I'm deeply honored and humbled for receiving Van Fleet Award once again. Thank you for such an honor. Half a century ago, when I was a teenager, we had a young, big, blue eyed English teacher named Mr. Middleton in my school. He came to Korea as a member of the Peace Corps, just like Ambassador Stevens. And I still remember how big of a challenge it was back then just to say a single word to him in English. We always talk about the Korean War when we talk about the Korea US alliance, as if that's what our alliance is all about. But there's more. There's far more than the blood we shed together during the war. We have lived together and shared memories as neighbors in every corner of our lives. Seoul was never an easy place to live for foreigners half a century ago. We didn't have Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts we have now in every block. Neighbors barely spoke English, and the street signs were not available enough, even in Korean. As a young boy, I was only curious about Mr. Middleton and never really thought about how challenging it must have been for him to live in Seoul. It is only now that I look back at my boyhood and realize deeply how grateful I am for his time and efforts to be with us in such a foreign and distant place where he managed to stay as our English teacher. Half a century later, another young American man named Mark Lippert came to Korea to serve as the US ambassador to Korea. He didn't have those big blue eyes like Mr. Middleton, but instead, he was a huge fan of my company's baseball team, Doosan Bears. With his enthusiastic cheer, the team won the Korean series for the first time in 14 years and won again following year. I used to tell people that the victory was ours probably because we had such a powerful US-Korea line cheering for us. Today's host, Juju Chang, is also my dear friend. Many Americans learn about what's going on in the world through the news she delivers on ABC Nightline every day. She is an American citizen with Korean heritage who makes us both proud. I went to the States to study in 1978 and came back to Korea in 1987. My married life started in the States, and both my sons were born in the States. I wouldn't say it was easy living abroad in a foreign culture, but it was a critical time of my life which allowed me to better understand American people and American society. I learned many life lessons and had some great experiences during my time in America. But most of all, it was the most valuable time that helped me understand our differences, our contrast, and our friendship. Our relationship, our alliance, our friendship wasn't just built on a series of historic events. Yes, we've been through war together, but we also built life together as neighbors. The bond and connection also existed for every citizens, entrepreneurs, and corporations of both our countries, not just for the soldiers who share the same purpose. We became closer with significant trust as we overcame all the barriers and troubles along the way. The geopolitical conditions surrounding the Korean Peninsula has never been this challenging, and the global trade is not less challenging. This isn't a challenge that can be handled or resolved by a single man or a single country. This Van Fleet Award I'm privileged with for the second time. I know it is not a praise on me, but more of a call to remind all of us a simple truth that we need to continuously share and act together to overcome these challenges. So I call on everyone to participate in the challenge to overcome together. I'd like to thank the Korean Society and wish we can move forward hand in hand for a better future. Just like famous lyrics in the song, that's what friends are for. Thank you.